What does it mean to be a true man? Is it measured by success, wealth, or adherence to traditional gender roles? In the manosphere, a pathetic online community, masculinity is often defined by these narrow standards. But these beliefs are flawed, and I want to explore the qualities that I believe make up a true man. While financial success can be important, equating it with manhood is a harmful myth. It's wrong to suggest that a man must earn a specific amount or be the sole breadwinner in his family to be considered a real man. Additionally, the idea that a man should always pay for everything, including dates, is an outdated concept that has no real bearing on masculinity. It's important to acknowledge that everyone's life circumstances are different, and financial success isn't the only way to measure a man's worth. True masculinity is defined by qualities such as empathy, integrity, and the ability to show vulnerability. These traits are essential to being a good partner, father, and friend. Furthermore, it is very important that we be cautious of the self-help industry and their promises of instant transformation. It's essential to approach self-improvement with a critical eye and do your research before investing in any program or product. One of the leaders of this way of thinking in the manosphere is Fresh and Fit, two black guys who refuse to date black women because they think that they are ratchet. Something that I think we can all tell is simply a racist stereotype. So you know there can only be good things up ahead.
About the black dating app called Black.
It's funny, I never used that one, bro, but hey, man.
I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that. Man. We ain't night riders.
Nah,
so
bro, I'm good.
Sometimes if they're, red bone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay, so last one, guys.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it a million. Y'all wanna know the cold hard truth? Yo, this is why nobody fucks with black women, bro. I'm gonna keep it all the way at 1 million. That's the truth, yo. This is why.
They portray themselves as being true men on the surface to their ever-growing group of naive, blind followers. However, they are far from being true men and are selling their followers an illusion. Shocker, I know. For example, Fresh uses his alleged wealth and success that he may or may not have accrued from being a professional clown for a living. In order to attract women to stay around him for longer, then it takes them to lie about having a boyfriend. His current record is 1.7 seconds and climbing, by the way. But once they see past his flimsy, manly facade, they realize that he has only accomplished about 3 things in his life. The first one is the incredible feat of managing the staple, superglue, and duct tape himself to his friend's back, in order to get that circus job I was talking about. The other 2 are both the same one, written in 2 different colored crayons. It's either that he had a threesome one time, or it may have been that he had a threesome while he was solving homelessness, stopping Hurricane Katrina, and saving a cat that was stuck in a tree. Either way, most people don't believe him when he tries to impress them with that story.
But today we're going to talk about my W in terms of having 3 women in one day. Now, it sounds crazy, right? But I was kind of foreign to this idea of having multiple girls in one day because I felt, do the right thing, do the good thing, have one girl I'm talking to, and that's it. But
even better is Fit. In my opinion, he lacks any sort of moral values that would define a true man. The type of man that would say that one day he wants his future kids to be just like you to your face, but when he gets home, he runs to go write in his diary about how he thinks your wife is a fat beluga whale.
This nigga preacher's married prior to a fucking beluga whale somewhere, and y'all niggas talking shit.
He also likes to scream that facts are all that matter, not caring about the way in which he gets his point across to his guests on the podcast. A trick which he likes to use to get out of any sticky situation he may find himself in. By throwing out random statistics with about as much context as Fresh has brain cells. At women who are disinterested, ill-prepared for the podcast, and who are just there to get their names out and gain an extra 5 followers on Instagram. 4 of those who are probably just fresh on different accounts. They bring these type of women on the podcast because, as you probably seen if you have watched at least one of their shows, without ill-prepared and disinterested women on the podcast to act crazy. Watching 5 minutes of their show would feel like you're watching a lobotomized Peter Griffin talk about how water can't be wet. Interesting, but not better than watching paint dry.
Literally, black women have the highest divorce rates, the most obese, the most loud, the most obnoxious, and they have the lowest stats on dating apps. And it's because y'all have terrible stereotypes that are continuously perpetuated by your behavior, your attitude, lack to change, masculine behavior. And I think it's a big byproduct of a lot of black women coming from households that don't have a father. Because guess what? Your mom tells you all your life, niggas ain't shit. The rap music tells you niggas ain't shit. All your people around you tell you niggas ain't shit. And then you grow up and you don't respect men in general. You have to become masculine because you didn't have a father figure or some type of positive masculinity.
I respect men.
And
my father told me niggas ain't shit.
Let me finish my point. Y'all might have had dads, but I'm saying in general with the black community, this is what happens. And then it continues to perpetuate. And then a lot of black women end up like masculine as fuck and not respecting men in general. And this is why the stereotypes exist. And black women do terrible in the dating game, and and they're the least desired race among all races. And this has been proven statistically. This is not me talking shit. It's fact. They polled it on dating apps, and women have the lowest approval ratings. And it's because of this attitude and lack of ability to change, and not lack of want to change, and just being masculine in general.
But wait, there's more. If the accolades of these two professional clowns doesn't make you want them to sell you their alpha male bathwater, then I don't know what's wrong with you. In an interview on DJ Academic's podcast called I Can't Believe I'm Still Relevant, Brittany Renner mercilessly interrogates them on multiple points, causing them to crash harder than Elon's net worth. Then Brittany Renner brought up a question so hard you would think that she was trying to erase them off the face of the planet. Sinking the makeshift raft that they had managed to put together throughout the interview as they dodged all her questions. But first, a word from our sponsors. I'm joking unless Raid Shadow Legends wants to get in on this while it's cheap. The thing that ended their careers in the eyes of people with more than one brain cell was when she asked him one question: what makes you special? A simple question that he himself has asked many people before. They managed to surprise me by responding like a true man should.
The baddest, sexiest, and the most dastardly in the land. All the hoes drop to their knees when they hear my name. I'm the ultimate Sigma male, the demon king of Riz, Anos Vodigode.
Oops, sorry, wrong clip. Here's the right one.
What kind of girl am I?
You're not special. You're like other girls. That's the key.
I'm not special.
You're like other women that are
So
like,
what makes you special then?
I never said I was. But you're trying to say, well, what makes me different from, like, a lot of women operate the way you do?
This is something that he's made fun of people on his podcast for saying. But yet, it's his #1 answer when he's asked the same question. I guess the old alpha male PC upstairs must have rebooted there for a second, instead of listing all of the attributes that make them, quote, real men. They went for the old tried and tested, looking goofy on camera for the rest of the interview approach. Not how I would have done it, but I'm not the professional silly boy here. But even though they surrendered at the first sign of danger, a lot of lost people who stumbled upon them at the lowest point of their life still think that they're the pinnacle of masculinity and want to be like them because they keep being sold a flimsy picture of a house by people who sound like realtors but aren't. They're simply the same men who couldn't name one cool thing about themselves when asked on a podcast by someone who wasn't even trying to put them to shame. But at the end of the day, they will sit in front of a camera and preach to you how you should aspire to be just like them, true men, for hours at a time. In my opinion, if you want to see what a true man or even a true woman should be like, I think you should take a look at Uncle Iroh from Avatar. I considered him a true man because of his empathy and emotional intelligence. Throughout the series, he is shown to have a deep understanding of people's emotions and is always there to provide comfort and support to those in need. He has a strong sense of empathy and is able to connect with people on a deep level, even if they are his enemies. In addition, Uncle Iroh is a wise and insightful mentor to the show's protagonist, Aang. He teaches Aang not only about the physical aspects of bending, but also about the importance of balance, harmony, and self-reflection. He encourages Aang to listen to his inner voice and to make decisions based on his own values and beliefs. Uncle Iroh's character is also defined by his sense of humor and his love of life. He is often seen enjoying a cup of tea or playing music, and his positive outlook on life inspires those around him to appreciate the simple pleasures and to find joy in the midst of difficult circumstances. Overall, Uncle Iroh is a true man because of his strength, empathy, wisdom, and love of life. He is a role model for both the characters in the show and for viewers watching at home. Thank you for staying till the end. I really enjoyed making this video. I don't know if you could tell, I plan on making a lot more content on things that are important to me and that I think should be talked about. Once again, thank you. Please like and subscribe so we can reach 100 people in the Yuma squad. I really want to be able to stream with subscribers and show off my potato aim on Apex Legends.